best game we've seen for Royce O'Neal. This was a very good game for him in the Suns jersey.
Oh, absolutely. And as you guys know, Royce O'Neal recently acquired before the trade deadline. And what an incredible showing. I laugh at all the Suns fans that thought it wasn't going to be a notable addition to the team. But not only is he great defensively, I mean, he could just be a great defensive player, and that would help the Phoenix Suns at this moment. But tonight goes off 37 minutes, 20 rebounds, 20 points, 10 rebounds, a double double for Royce O'Neal. Just a really great game, great showing for him as well. It was really exciting to see him in the mix and just being that extra guy out there. When you're down Bradley Beal, when you're down Eric Gordon, those are important players, and you need other players to step up. And I think this was kind of that breath of fresh air that this team needed to see, because we know what we signed up for. Like, we know this big three, they're great when they're all together. But the problem is, can they all be together? Because it's always one person or the other. My concern is when one of them or more than one of them are out. How does this team look? And that team, it has to gel well, and it has to come together if we're going to have a legitimate chance at bringing the first Larry O'Brien to the Valley. And I think tonight was a good showing. But enough about that. Lakers fan Edward is here. He's here to react. What is going on with your Lakers?
Um, First off, there's a billion issues, but given that this is the last time our teams are facing off each other in the regular season, the biggest difference that we have is that we have no size. Um, we don't have Cam Reddish, we don't have Vando, we don't have Christian Wood, we don't have Gabe Vincent, but he doesn't really account for the size factor, but he is still a noticeable absence. Uh, the second you put Bol in there, the God Bol with the deep stroke from outside, the second he was in, I knew the game was over, 100%. I'm like, the second AD sits, we lost, 100%. And another thing too is that AD, God, I love AD. He's one of my favorite players, but that first play where Nurkic just completely bodied him and turned him into his son, like that, I think it was like the second play of the game. That play, I knew the game was over. I called it immediately. I'm like, there's going to be a couple fake comebacks, but I know this team does not have the fight because there's no reason why AD should get bodied like that. There's no reason why he should get bodied like that.
That's right.
But
Edward and I were texting during the game and kind
yeah,
of just reacting to it.
yeah, I'm like, this fake comeback. I'm like, this is the fake comeback right here. And then they had two of them, and I knew it. But another big issue with the team is, of course, we have one of the worst coaches in the NBA. Darvinham is just, he is completely lacking in both offensive schematics as well as defensive strategy. His entire defensive focus is shift the entirety of the opposing offense into Anthony Davis. So AD has to play 1 through 5 every single possession. What happens there? AD is too tired to play defense, or play offense, which is what we kind of saw today. He got a bit of a resurgence late in the second half, towards the end of the third, early in the fourth, and then it was just completely unserious basketball, led by a great performance from LeBron. But the man's 39 years old. He was present at the first baptism. I don't know, like, if we keep depending on him to do all of this, and we live and die by LeBron, which is a problem. The LeBron, fantastic player for me, top 2 all-time player. Um, it's just we need people to step up when LeBron's playing passive. And that's been a problem with the Lakers all season. No one has that get at it mindset other than LeBron, and LeBron doesn't even have it half the time. And when another player has it, then it's like, whoa, it's opening up doors for everyone. But as far as like from what I saw from the Suns, like I taught, like we texted a lot during the preseason when you guys acquired Bradley Beal, and I made that comment, that observation that this team is going to live and die by Bradley Beal and his contract. If he is not present, you're going to be struggling for quite a bit depending on the length of his injury. And it's good to see a team that has invested so much money into one player still, come at it, still scrap some wins without that player, with that salary just being nothing. That's something I like to see because the Lakers have horrendous luck with that. When we sign a guy like that to that kind of money and that kind of injury history or that kind of like negative aspect to a team, we are terrible. We do not know what we're doing. You guys do have a great head coach. You guys have a far better organization. I love Frank Vogel. I always have rooted for Frank. I hate Darvin Ham, the worst Laker coach we've had since Byron Scott. But yeah, that's. I have more to say, but this is your guys' show. Please continue.
Of course, we'll circle back around to it, and be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Phoenix Suns content. As 24 more games left, and the playoff race is on. And even though Edward there is drinking his Lakers sorrows away, they technically are still in contention. And that's just the West, right? So to be honest, I would expect the Lakers to be in the play-in. At the bottom though. But I do expect them to turn it on because they can do that. Like they have LeBron and AD, and that is more than enough to get them to win important games. The problem is they're just not consistent enough. It's a long season, 82 games. So it's hard to have an entire team based off of two players' talents. Now, believe it or not, they can do that. And that's what we've seen the past couple of years. Like we've seen AD and LeBron turn it on in like those final 10 games, final 5 games to get that extra push to get to the postseason. But and yeah, like I said, they're just wait for them to get healthy. If they can get healthy with Vanderbilt and Wood getting that size back could help them. And we saw it last year, right? Like Lakers snuck in as a play-in. They made it to the Western Conference Finals. And that's what's so dangerous about these playoffs. This new playoff structure is, you could sneak in as a play-in. Obviously, the stakes are higher playing a play-in game. But, like, if you can get in, you can get a really good matchup like the Lakers did last season. Like, the Lakers were not better than a lot of teams in the Western Conference, but they got an incredible route to the playoffs.
We got the Western Conference we got Finals. The perfect teams. Yeah,
exactly. Like the perfect matchups, and obviously they took advantage of it. But the Nuggets were just too much. But back to the Suns here. Obviously Royce O'Neal, the double-double, playing really well. I liked his defense on LeBron, even though LeBron was just LeBron was to see what he's doing in year 23 is pretty spectacular. Ashton, I see your face there, Ashton. You want to say something about LeBron?
Every single time the Suns face the Lakers, that's the number one fact they always bring up about LeBron. It's like, bring something else to the table, please. I hate how they do national televised around the Suns. It's always one-sided.
Well, that is so very true. I cannot agree more. We've had 3 games back after the All-Star break. 2 of them have been nationally televised, and the commentators cannot get off their knees when they're talking about the opposing teams that the Suns are playing. For example, there was a great block from Nurkic on one end, and then granted, D'Lo had an incredible block on his.
That was a crazy block.
That was insane. But Richard Jefferson was like, "Oh my God, did you see that block, D'Lo?" I'm like, I get it, but talk about Nurkic's block, because at that point he had like 20 rebounds. He had a friggin' double. He was Wilt Chamberlain tonight out there. With like Nurkic outplayed AD. So and obviously a couple of nights ago we had Luka and the Mavs, and they did the same thing too. Like Devin had a great game that night, and then Luka, doing what Luka does, and they couldn't stop talking about Luka. It's like, can we talk about? And it's like this is a side rant, but I don't understand the narrative about how people hate the Suns. Like, the Suns, if they were like 10-time, 20-time world champs and we were talking like this, like, okay, I get it, and that's why a lot of people hate Lakers fans and the Lakers. But like the Suns are the desert. Like we have nothing, no championships. All we have is Charles Barkley and Steve Nash. Like that's all we, and they're in the Hall of Fame and the Ring of Honor, whatever. So it's like just let us, let us enjoy this time that we have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and everybody. But regardless, I got to pick a bone with Kevin Durant. I'm getting frustrated. Ooh. And it seems like he's just, I don't know if he's out of rhythm or if it's out of the All-Star break, but I just need him to be better. Like, I just need him to take over the game. Because when we see Devin Booker in the game, like he's super aggressive.
Mhm.
He takes control.
He's always locked in. Always.
Exactly. He's either getting rebounds, he's trying to facilitate the ball, or he understands the pace of the game and he goes up there and tries to get a bucket, drive it in, dish it out, kick it out, whatever it is. But oh my God, when we get stuck in those ISOs with Kevin Durant and the play clock dwindles down to 10 seconds and he has to put up a mid-range that we know he can't hit, but like we got players that we can get involved in. That sort of thing is just a terrible snowball, because then if he misses it, then we got to run back, and then he's not getting other people involved. Other people are cold, and it just messes up the whole offense. So that's my only bone to pick with KD. 22 points tonight, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. But that's kind of just a basic night for KD right there. But that's all I got to say about KD. Ashton, you want to talk about your man, Bol?
Absolutely. I love Bol. And from the looks of it, any Laker fans, or if the Suns go on a road trip or whatever, everyone else loves Bol. Everyone can't get enough of Bol. And I love that he's getting his time to shine on national television. I love him. It's great.
I'm so happy though that Vogel has come to his ways and finally understands, oh, we should probably play this guy. That dude is a cheat code. Bol is a freaking cheat code.
Yeah. That's the thing about Vogel, though. He has his favorites. He's very stubborn in his lineups. It takes him a minute to really see. I think if he sees a player like Bol, where if he has like one good game, he's like, that might be a fluke. Let's stick to what we've been doing, because the circumstances of having someone like Bol in the game are they have context behind it, right? It's like, oh, we don't have someone to fill this role. We just need to put whoever we have in. But once that person starts performing over a certain set of time, Vogel takes a minute, but eventually he's like, okay, you know what? Actually, a good idea to have him in the regular rotation. So, yeah, Bol had a great game. There was no one on the list. Jackson Hayes is like half his size, it seems. So like, there was a free court for him, man. He had an open court. It was doing layups from the 3-point line, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, Bol's a cheat code. It's kind of like what happened to us the past couple of nights, when like Daniel Gafford came in for the Mavs. It's kind of like when you go to like a small ball lineup, you as a coach or like as a team, you have the advantage. Like if you have a player that you could throw in there that's tall, but also quick. And I think Bol fits that. Like he's just a cheat code when those small ball lineups come in and the rotations come in. And you see him take control of the game. And so it was nice to see that, because I feel like the past couple of nights against the Mavs and against the Rockets, we were kind of on the opposite side of that, where we had like a tall guy dominating us, whether it was Gafford or I think Amen Thompson with the Rockets. It was just nice to be on the other side of it, where Bol was going off. And Bol, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, so I don't live in the Valley. I'm from the Valley, born in Phoenix. There's actually only one of us here that are currently in Arizona. So Ashton, I got to ask you, why didn't you go to the game today?
Man.
Because I'm here doing this. What?
Oh, that's a good answer.
You could have been doing this from the car in the parking lot. Come on.
Yeah,
get some fans together.
I wish I could be there. I wish I have season tickets. I would love to go witness Bol every day of every week.
Bowling out, man.
Yeah, we can make this a whole thing. Like the show will grow, and then we'll be like, okay, we're gonna go to our on-court field reporter. And Ashton's like right there interviewing Bol. Oh, Mr. Bol.
Did I call you Bol or Mr. Bol?
So quick shout out to the chat here. We got a comment here from Baxter, basically saying Phoenix Suns, go Suns. Right on, Baxter. We appreciate that. Yes, go Suns. We got a win finally.
Go Suns, go.
This post All-Star break, we finally got a win to avoid the 3-game losing streak, and it feels so much better going up against those Los Angeles Lakers. Now, back to the Lakers, though. Talk to us about Spencer Dinwiddie, your new acquisition. Picked him up, played 23 minutes, only 3 points and 2 assists. Is that what you expect from Spencer Dinwiddie?
For what we got him for, which is literally nothing. Yes. I didn't like when we announced that we picked him up from waivers. I had low expectations of Dinwiddie. He he does fill a need that we have, or that we need filled, which is another playmaker, another on-ball playmaker. All we have on this team right now, or what we had before him, was just D'Lo and LeBron. No one else on the team was capable of making plays on the court, making those. It's just it was just Spencer Dinwiddie. The dude is just not that like offensive juggernaut that I get some sort of like idea of like Dinwiddie as like really great kind of offensive minded combo guard ish skill guard kind of guy. Being horrible in the three, he all season, including with the Nets. I didn't expect that to change with the Lakers, who have historically, at least as long as I've been watching, have been one of the worst 3-point teams in the history of the league the past 10 years. And with him on the court, it was really just a matter of what he brought to the table didn't really elevate the team beyond what we were lacking, which again is that size. We just really any benefit or any like positive I could take away from this game, there is none. Is kind of negated by that fact that we're just not healthy, which is the same old damn story of, oh, if healthy, I don't care about the if healthy because we're not going to be healthy. And if we can't do anything without some key, and right now we're missing role players. It's not even our stars. We're missing role players and we can't do anything. This February, this month, we beat in the same week, we beat the Celtics. I believe we beat the Sixers. I don't remember exactly 100%, but I know we beat another contending team that same week, but we lost to the Rockets. We're such a hot and cold team, and I cannot explain to you why. And someone like Spencer Dinwiddie, which was our only acquisition at the trade deadline, doesn't fix that. So I don't know, man. Like this team is just like my expectations. I honestly had more fun as a Laker fan in the build up to the championship season that includes 7 years of atrocious basketball than I have the past 3 years. Laker team is just it's just like I can't really explain what the problem is because we have the tools, right? We have the pieces in play. When they're injured, no one's fault. Like I can't blame anyone for injuries, but I can blame the front office for not really making the upgrades necessary. I can blame the coaching staff for not doing anything. Um, it's just frustrating to see that like LeBron had a quote like about a couple months ago where we were in a losing streak again, and he was something along the lines of like, on any given night we can beat any team. On any given night we can lose to any single team. Doesn't matter how good or bad they are. And that is the definition of a mid team. We're hovering just barely over 500. And on that note, actually, I'm very surprised to see how kind of close we are in the standings. We're only, what, 4 games behind?
Yeah,
And
3-game
I
difference.
7 or 8 winning streak at one point. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was actually very surprised to see that. I didn't know that you guys were on a losing streak right now, but like it's weird because I'm looking at the performance today and what I know of the Suns. Even though we have beaten the Suns a few times this season, it's a night and day difference. These two teams. The Suns are a better managed team, a better coached team than the Lakers. The talent, I mean, it's objective, right? Right? How you want to argue talent in regards to comparing AD Ron to Booker and KD. But I mean, at the end of the day, you guys have the better kind of. It's really just the coaching staff. You guys have the better coaching. You have the better offensive schemes. You have the better defensive schemes. You guys are making the most out of what you have, and we are making nothing out of everything that we got.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
think that's the Western Conference, though, because you're right. It's like it's only a 3-game difference between the Suns and the Lakers, and I think every team is like this. They kind of have this issue. Like like the Nuggets. Like, how long can they
Mhm.
depend on Murray to be healthy? You know, and for the
Mhm.
Suns, you know, can we depend on Bill to be healthy? So I think that's why a game like this
Mhm.
to beat, and I think the Lakers are a good team. As much as I hate them, like I know what they're capable of, and I know
Mhm.
that going into today's matchup, I'm like, do I think we're the better team at this moment? Yeah, definitely. Do I think we can still win this?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it's like you can't. The
Mhm.
Lakers are kind of like this like dog that you don't want to corner because they'll like chew their way out. They're just like
Yeah.
they're just
Yeah.
definitely
No,
that
yeah.
type of team. And so I was a little
Yeah.
bit worried about that. So when you guys had surged back, I was like, it wasn't so much about like what the Suns were doing wrong. Like they were still making buckets. They were still doing what
Yeah.
they were actually playing pretty well. I think people
Yeah.
thought they were playing bad, but it's just like, well, everything's going to be bad compared to that first quarter because the Suns were like
Oh, yeah.
perfect and they
That
exploded.
was the
So
worst. That was the worst quarter we played all season.
yeah, so it's like, and I
Yeah.
was texting Edward too. I'm like, I don't trust any lead, and I'm not just saying that because like I don't trust the
Mhm.
Suns or anything like that, but like because of the shot clock, the 24 seconds, because it's the NBA, like 15, 20 point leads don't mean anything because like if you have a
No.
20 point lead, the other team's just thinking like, can we cut this down to 10? And then it's a whole new quarter. Then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
can we get back from this 10? So I knew like, okay, I like this explosion in the first quarter, but it was always going to be a game because you guys got shooters,
Yeah.
you guys got AD and LeBron for God's sake. Like it was going to
Yeah.
be some contention there.
Yeah.
But pretty big night. I mean, if you look at the team stats, they're actually pretty similar, but the biggest discrepancy is free throws. The Phoenix Suns went to the line 19 times and shot incredible from the free throw line at
Mhm.
94.7% free throw percentage, 18 out of 19. Now, on the other hand, the Lakers, this is probably what hurt them the most, only 4 of 8. They only went to
Where's
the
that
line 8
narrative?
times.
Where is that narrative?
Now, granted, I will admit
Yeah.
I've been on the other side of this. As Suns fans, we've been on the other side of this where it's like, okay, but I just don't think no one got to the basket. There was
No
I
one
think there was a
could.
few.
No one could.
Yeah, I think there were a few aggressive contentions down there on AD earlier in the game where I was like, okay, they're gonna let them play tonight. Where it could have easily been called a foul. Like totally depends on the officiating.
Mhm.
But I thought that was probably the only aggressive thing. But like other than that, no one was driving it in. Like D'Lo was shooting it
No.
from three. Rivers was not Rivers. Reeves was probably the only one that I saw outside of LeBron. Reeves had a couple of
Consistently
drive-ins and he was
driving.
kicking it out.
Mhm.
But I mean,
Yeah.
that was probably the biggest thing, and that's the biggest thing for me too for the Suns. Like Suns got to get to the basket. Like when they become that ISO stand at the 3 point line, like not only is it boring basketball, but
Mm.
you can never win as many games. Like you
No.
always got to keep it moving. But Ashton,
Mhm.
anything else you got to talk about with this game? Anything that you saw that you want to talk about?
No, not really. You guys
You got a
covered
player
it
of the
all.
game?
Oh, it's kind of hard to tell because Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal had their best games, but probably Royce O'Neal.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I
He's sitting
mean,
at a
100%.
plus 22 in the box score.
yeah,
So
exactly.
Mhm.
Like you look at the
No,
box,
he
you look
was
at the team
great.
stats. There's Okay, so I'm counting. There's 6 players that were in double digits, but there were 4 players that scored 20 plus. KD with 22, Royce with 20, Grayson Allen with 24, and Book with 21. Grayson Allen, you're right, had an incredible night. 6 of 12 from the 3 point line. And that's what we need. Like when Bill is out or when anybody is out, like we need everyone else to elevate their game and play like this. And we're also down Eric Gordon too. Like Aaron Gordon can shoot the ball for us. But definitely, I got to give my player of the game to Yusuf Nurkic. Like 22 freaking rebounds. Like that's insane. 22
On
rebounds.
AD
I
is
know.
embarrassing. Yeah, that's embarrassing.
That's insane. That's where I get caught up too. I'm like, so I bet on
Mhm.
the game tonight, and I thought he was gonna get like, I thought it was gonna be like maybe 10, like 10 to 12, because like I'm thinking like 80 is pretty good. Like he can box you out, has a lot of length,
Mhm.
but I did not freaking expect him to get 22 freaking rebounds.
No.
So
No,
for
this team is
example,
really, really bad at rebounding. Like that, like that's a given. Like it's really bad.
well, I'm glad that you brought that up because one of the huge other discrepancies in this game is offensive rebounds. The Phoenix Suns had
Mm-hmm.
14 compared to 3 that the Lakers had. I mean, all those second
Yep.
chance points were opening up. It was like I said, like I feel like for the Suns, we're always on the opposite side looking at that, because someone's always out
Mm-hmm.
rebound us or something like that. So it felt really good to be on the other end. And Nurkic, man, freaking 22. He had more rebounds than he had points, and he had 18 points. Like, this
Yep.
is like prime Shaq. That's
Yep.
a prime Shaq stat line.
If you're
And
a big body and all we have is AD to match that in terms of length and girth, you are out rebounding the entire Los Angeles individual. No, but seriously though, like this team is so bad at rebounding, especially when AD is the only big we got, and unfortunately that's the case because Jackson Hayes played 5 minutes. He got absolutely toasted by Bol. Ham said that was enough. I've seen enough, and so he pulls them out the rest of the game. And so then we switched to LeBron and Rui at the center because we got no one else. We had no one else to rebound, even just protect the paint, just rebound the basketball. We have no one else on the team that can do that. And that is how you get people like Yusuf Nurkic with 20 rebounds. Now, no disrespect to Yusuf Nurkic. He is a good player. But 20 rebounds on Anthony Davis, bro? Like, I like this. I don't even know who to be mad at, to be honest with you, because I don't know how you coach that. And it's not AD's fault. He's the only 7-footer we have active on the roster right now. So like, I like man, like Nurkic. That is my player of the game for you all is Yusuf Nurkic. He took advantage of that situation. He made the most of it. So many offensive rebounds, so many defensives. Oh, this is the story of being a Laker fan. You see this. You guys talk about how like, oh, it's nice to be on the other side of this. I am on that. I am on that side that gets victimized in terms of rebounding. I see this every single night. So congrats to you all. You guys have deserved this well fought win. It wasn't even close, man. Like I called it. Second Nurkic backed 80 down, and 80's like the game was over at that point because I'm like, this is the kind of 80 game we're gonna get. He's gonna get punked on the whole game. He's not gonna score at all. He's gonna leave guys wide open. He's gonna be standing around like this the whole game, asking for help when he's the helper. Just a very pathetic performance tonight from the Lakers. Very bad from AD. Shout out to Nurk. Shout out to Bol. God, I hate.
And speaking of the Lakers, we have another comment here from Luck Duck One asking, "Where's the Lakers decor?"
They don't deserve it. Let me tell you that they don't deserve it. Not until Genie sells the team and Darvin gets fired. They don't deserve this.
Yeah, man, you need to like hang up a jersey or something in the back. Something.
No. Well, that's a closet door, so I can't I'm not gonna nail anything to the closet door. Oh wait, you do, right? Oh no, you put them on hangers and you hang it on the door, right?
Yeah, I got
That's how
it
you do
on
your
the hangers
jerseys?
up there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I should do that actually. That's very smart.
Yeah, but other than that, guys, that is it for Game 58. The Phoenix Suns end their series with the Los Angeles Lakers. Do we see this team again in the postseason? Ashton, what do you think? Do we see them?
No.
Like this matchup?
Yeah.
No.
Do we see? So this may be the last time LeBron and KD, right? This is it.
Yeah,
Possibly.
this may be the last. I don't see a path for us to meet in the play-in whatsoever. And then there is no way for us to really meet in the first round at all. So yeah, I think this is the last game.
We shall see. But
Unless you guys are just outright terrible and we're really good, there's no way we're meeting in the play-in, I don't think. I think we're just going down. You guys are going a little bit more up, but man.
Suns are on a little bit of a break here until Thursday, much needed. They played a back-to-back the other night, and then they played today. But big win. They improved to 34-24, and of course, we'll have to wait and see what they do in the what happens in the Western Conference standings to see if they move up any. But that's going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe for more Phoenix Suns content, and we will see you guys next time.